Welcome all to Hit or Miss. I'm your host, Night Strike, and we have a couple people here tonight for Hit or Miss. I know some of the people I invited decided to go to Ghost Show first, and either decided that they're not going to show up for Hit or Miss, or they're doing other things. And well, oh well, that's how it roll. That's how it happens. Some
That's where
other
the cookie
people are
crumbles, man.
quarking. Some other people are quarking me tonight too, which irks me to no end. But you know what? That just gives more people variety to watch online. So I can't be too mad about that. We got Mel the Nut out there asking if this is 9 o'clockish. We're starting when we can start, Mel. If people jump in beforehand, soon enough to where we can start on time, we'll start on time. If we have to start a few minutes late and end a few minutes late, then we'll do that. If we have to end early, we'll end early and make up the time next week. But that's just how it goes. So right now, out in the YouTube side, we've got we've got what makes the grass grow greener. Joe Zawala's out there. Mel the Nut is out there. Kingpin, who has a link, is out there. So, again, all right. So we're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. Whether we get through them all, or if we get through them all, we get through them all. If we don't, well, then we may have to do another episode, or we may discuss this on the Friday Night Strike this weekend. Because, hey, there's a lot to talk about. So, apparently, Ammo Dog needs attention, Travis, so give him attention.
I've been gone all day, so he's just like, I might just disappear and just sit on the floor with him, just so you know. So,
All right. Well, as long as you participate.
oh yeah, always. I'm right here, man. I'm here. I'm good.
Yeah.
Lock and loaded.
But yeah, so let's introduce our panel and get on the road. All right. Duke Liberty, what's going on, Ian?
Hey, not much, man. Thanks for the invite. Up here in Michigan, the mighty Mac, we're doing good, man. Things are getting a little hairy, but that's okay. People are staying home, listening to the stay-at-home rules, the lockdown, whatever you want to call it. Only essential workers are allowed to travel, but things are good, man. Things are going to be okay. Hopefully, the numbers are swinging in the downturn, hopefully, but we'll see. Thanks for the invite.
No problem. No problem. All right. All right. And Travis, introduce yourself.
My name is Travis P11, Pisces. I'm 5'11". I weigh 145 pounds. Anyway, no. Hey, guys, make sure you check out my podcast called Caliber Corner, Monday night, 6 o'clock p.m. Central Time. We talk guns and ammo and other good stuff. Couple things real quick. I've got a Patreon drawing coming up here in a couple days for the month of March. So if you support me over on Patreon, it's $1 a month, and you'll be in the monthly drawing. I give away all kinds of cool swag. And then also we'll be giving away a Ruger Wrangler. So if you check my channel, Travis P11, find the 25,000 sub giveaway video. Leave a comment on there. Everything's explained in the video. All you got to do is leave a comment, and you're in the drawing. And we're going to be giving away a Ruger Wrangler probably in about a week or so. I mean, I'm thinking maybe next week I'm going to go to SS Pond and talk to Stan, and we're going to make this happen. So we're ready to rock it. But anyway, appreciate the invite, man. Thank you so much.
All right. No problem. All right. So, guys, we all know that right now is the quote unquote pandemic quarantine. Everyone's aware. I know everyone is stressed out, and some people are panicking. Some people aren't. It just depends. So what we're going to start off, Travis mentioned something, and the Duke Liberty mentioned something. So, Duke, what's the situation in Michigan? How are things going in Michigan?
Well, I think what we're seeing is that we're seeing the more tests there are available, the more people that they're going to show have the sickness. I kind of saw this at the beginning of the week, and I read stuff that told us, but it was kind of clear that this was going to look like a pretty dark week because this was going to look like it was spreading just because there was, and it is spreading, but because there's so many tests that have become available. Largest concerned area is south of me in Oakland County and then in the Detroit area. You had 5 cops test positive 130 Detroit police officers are quarantined right now, and I think we've had our first officer pass away due to the virus. So that's pretty sad.
It
Um,
is.
I think my largest concern is that I'm not seeing people take the stay-at-home, law thing very seriously. Advisement, however you want to put it. A lot of people still out doing stuff they shouldn't be doing. Man, if we would just hunker down for 2 weeks, we could really get ahead of this thing, and that's my issue. Only essential workers are allowed on the roads. I've been working from home pretty much for the past week and a half. Went into the office today to do a little bit of things, but got back out of there, got back home. It's weird. All the gun shops are closed. Only you've got the grocery stores, pharmacies. They let the fast foods still open for delivery and drive through.
Right.
But it's strange out there. But all the gun shops closed, and I looked at my father-in-law last night and before this went into effect, and I was like, hey man, like this is what we talked about. Like he's a big prepper and a big Second Amendment supporter, and I'm like, hey, this is this is it, man. Like I'm not saying it's the end, but there's no going to the gun shop and grabbing something you need anymore right now. So hey, it's just a little concerning. Well, I think we're gonna be all right, man. I think we just got to get through this and hang on. But like nobody on the track, nobody on the highway, nobody in the back roads. That's kind of a little bit eerie, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, we're not talking about this to induce panic or incite panic or anything or stress anybody out. We're just trying to get the lay of what the situation is in parts of the country right now. My area, we're still under the no eat basically delivery and takeout only. Some businesses that are non-essential have been closed, but not gun stores obviously. But overall, we've had a couple cases here in South Carolina, but more or less things have just kind of stayed the same. All the children are at home right now, bugging the hell out of their children, their parents, excuse me, and yeah. So that's what's going on here. Travis, what's going on in your area? Are things getting better? Things getting worse? What's going on with you?
In Nebraska, I mean, luckily we're not a very population dense state. We got 1.9 something million people, and right now we have 61, 62 confirmed cases. We don't have shelter in place going on right now. We don't have any kind of just the practice safe social distancing is what's going on. Restaurants are drive-through only. And for those fools that are upset because their restaurants aren't open so they can dine in, guys, you're totally missing the whole point of trying to prevent this disease from killing off the elderly, all right? I just want to say that right now because there's people that are complaining about not being able to go dine in their favorite restaurants. I don't understand how ignorant these people are. No, I get it. But anyway, yeah, for us, all the businesses are open except for the ones that choose not to be open, but restaurants are all takeout or drive-through. All of our main stores and everything are open. In Lincoln, Nebraska, people are not really, I mean, it's not as packed as it usually is because it's usually, bumper to bumper traffic, 5 o'clock. It's very thin now, but just going by Walmart and stuff, people are not practicing safe social distancing. People are still going to Walmart. Parking lot's still full of people. So, like what Duke Liberty was saying, as we get more tests available, they're now setting up for drive-through tests if you want to. In Lincoln, Nebraska, you can go through and get checked, and I don't know how they get you the results back or what they do. But yeah, I mean, people need to understand, for one thing, as more tests get administered, you're going to get more positives. You also might get more false positives because you're testing everybody. Everybody thinks they have it is going to get tested and they're going to freak out, which is fine because I'd rather have you stay home and not have it than have it not. So the numbers are going to go up, but people just need to calm down because everybody's either going to pass it, get it, show signs of it, or not. I mean, that's what's going to happen to this entire population unless somebody's totally isolated completely, have no contact with anybody, and you somehow live this out and you don't ever get exposed to it before it gets vaccinated or whatever. But I think the chances of that happening are probably pretty slim. So
and then you just get the vaccine.
Yeah, and then you're going to be set. Hopefully, I mean, we'll see. And I hope the vaccine. I really hope they're testing the heck out of it, and that there's not going to be any side effects from it because what they're looking at testing on people is pretty powerful medication. So I hope to God they know what they're doing before they just start throwing it out at everyone. And I mean, Yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say about that. But I mean, we're fine in Nebraska. I mean, there's people were buying guns like crazy. Shields, which is kind of like Cabela's, but with more sporting goods. They sold tons and tons of guns. I didn't get a chance to go into Cabela's. I kind of wanted to, but I've been trying to stay out of places that are really populated, or just go out at times when there's not a lot of people out. Otherwise, everybody's out and about walking with their families and stuff. People are being very civil. We finally have some decent weather going on now. So we're fine. We're good. There's lots of open space out here in Nebraska. So you got your room. That's not an issue. So, yeah, we're fine. There's no problems. Right? No major governors keeping up on top of things. He's in communication with the president. Our hospitals are top notch. They're hopefully ready for an influx if it happens, because we've got an older population too, and that's kind of scary.
And I heard there's even talk of going back to school for a little while too over there.
Yeah. The schools will be some of the schools have already started back up. They're going back to online classes, and that's what's going to be going on with the school system that I work for. We're going back to online classes very soon, and it's going to go the duration as long as it can. Maybe even be back in the building. We don't know. We'll find out in about 4 weeks. So.
Okay. Melanut says Wisconsin is under a stay-at-home order, right? I am still going out of the house, but I'm only going out to take people to pre-scheduled doctor's appointments. I have to take my grandmother to doctor appointments regardless, because they schedule it when they schedule it. I had to take her, so I take her to the doctor's. The only other places I go is I go to the bank if I have to go to the bank, or if I have to pick something up at Tractor Supply for the house and land. Those are the only places I'm going right now. I'm not going anywhere else. But I did have a visitor over the weekend. Over the weekend, I had a visitor. You might know him, Travis. He owns a white Supra.
Mm-hmm. Are we allowed to say his name?
He owns a white Supra, and he loves Comblock rifles.
Is that skinny guy with the New Jersey accent?
I think it may be. It may be the skinny guy with the New Jersey accent.
Wait, Brandon Herrera or AWAG? Just kidding.
AWAG, because unlike Brandon Herrera, AWAG actually delivers on the rifles.
Ouch! Shots fired. But Brandon's getting his stuff ramped up, getting ready to go.
It's been 3 years now? Where is it?
Honestly, I didn't start watching his channel until the last couple months. I don't know why. I just never really did, but I got nothing wrong with it. But I mean, he does have rifles available on his website that you can order that they do deliver. I mean, you can. I don't know if they're halting production right now because of all the parts that they buy.
I'm just poking fun. I'm not being serious, guys. I'm just poking fun. I'm not being serious whatsoever. I know it takes a lot to research and design a rifle and make sure it's safe for people to use so it doesn't explode in your face. I understand that. I just have to give him a little ribbing because, he needs that reinforcement.
Yeah.
But again, AWAG came over. We cleaned up the range a little bit because I needed some help clearing out some of the brush because it's grown up a little bit. And I finished those targets. I got to take pictures of them, but I was trying to do a red dot in the middle of those targets once I had them finished, and it ended up being in a blood splatter pattern instead. So, I hung them.
A light coat. Walk away for 5 minutes. Come back. Light coat. 5 minutes. Walk away. Don't just.
I was a little impatient. I wanted them to get done, and I hung them too early.
All right.
So I'll take pictures of those later. But I've got video of me, AWAG, and one of our other friends hanging out and shooting. We totally shot so much that the cops had to come and ask us to quiet down.
That's awesome.
It's always fun when you shoot enough guns that the cops have to come over and tell you guys to quiet down. So it was great.
That's awesome. Like, do they just are you far from your home? You're like 20 yards away from the back door, right?
No, I'm like 200 or 300 yards from the back door.
So how'd the cops find you? Did they come walking through the brush to tell you guys to quiet down, to get on the boom mic? Right,
remember, more people. There's more than just me at my house. So whenever the cops come to the house, somebody else answers the door. They're like, Yeah, the cops came over. We told them you were shooting on the county, but they said quiet down. And I'm like, well, it's almost 6:30, so I guess it's time to.
But remember, everybody's at home, so that's kind of the crappy thing. Nobody's out. Your neighbors are actually home for once, stuck sitting there.
Yeah.
Not that I would care. I'd be sitting there looking, saying, "Hey, can I join you guys?"
AWAG's friend just got off of. He just got home because he was on a tour. Because he's in the military. He just got back, and he was cleared. He's safe.
Is the Supra up and running now? He got the engine completely done?
No, he didn't drive the Supra down.
Okay. I mean, because I follow his pictures. I don't know if it's on Instagram. He posts a lot of pictures and keeps us updated on it. So
he drove the truck down, not the Supra, because the Supra broke again. By the way,
really?
Yes, the Supra broke again.
All right. I didn't think it was running.
Yeah, no, it's broken again.
Well, he's just trying. He's drifting it. He's too fast, too furious. So.
Well, he just he goes a little overboard sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where are my notes? I've got notes here where we got tons of stuff to go over. I just wanted to get some of that stuff out of the way. I've got videos coming up, a ton of videos. So they're going to go on Patreon first for the patrons,
cool.
And the rest of them will be out there and about on YouTube a few days later, as well as I may even throw another. We may have another New Jersey meme coming along, like we did with the New Jersey reload. We may have another one.
Yeah. That was a good video.
Yeah. All right. So, speaking of New Jersey, Governor Murphy hit with federal lawsuit by the Second Amendment Foundation. And for anyone that doesn't know what happened in New Jersey, okay, New Jersey is on literally full lockdown right now. Okay. And, apparently, basically, the New Jersey governor basically halted all NICS checks and all firearm sales and ammunition sales in the state of New Jersey, and forced and I believe he forced all gun businesses and ammunition businesses to shut down because they are non-essential businesses.
He says they're non-essential, but I disagree.
I disagree because the Constitution says shall not be infringed. And for reference, the definition hasn't changed in 300 years. I've checked. And by the way, it means don't mess with it. Unfortunately, he hasn't had a dictionary or a thesaurus probably in about 40 years, so he doesn't understand definitions of words.
Well, and that's one of many counties or states that we've been hearing about that are cutting off gun sales, or cities. That's just one little sliver of the whole, board, basically.
New Jersey isn't the only one, and the reason why we're talking about this stuff is to let people know what's going on in parts of the United States, so they know that if you are in an affected area. I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say this, and Stan, forgive me for saying this. But give them hell. Give your legislators, give your governor, give your lieutenant governor, your representatives of your state, your state senate, everyone. Give them hell. Either email, phone call, voicemail, written letter. Let them know that you are unhappy with what they're doing and that how they are violating your constitutional rights. And in some states, they're also violating the state constitution rights too. So check in your states for that. But again, they are violating your federal rights, and you should be as unhappy as I am about it. Probably even more so because you have to live underneath it. But again, the Second Amendment Foundation warned the mayor of New Orleans against suspending firearm sales in reaction to the COVID-19 outbreak. That organization has hit the New Jersey governor with a federal lawsuit alleging deprivation of rights for shutting down firearms dealerships in the Garden State, thus preventing citizens from exercising their rights under the Second and 14th Amendments. Which one is the 14th again? Remind me.
here real quick.
right,
Let's see.
here-
14th
here-
Amendment.
Here it is. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. So,
It's pretty cut and dried, if you ask me.
yeah. So, the reason I read the 14th Amendment right there was just because that was Section 1. And there's 5 sections of it, but the one I was pertaining to was that one, and that's the one I believe they're going after because they're basically telling them what to do with their property, which is also a violation technically of your 5th Amendment rights. But we're not going there because we're gonna continue on and power on through this article. All right, it may be the first time in history for such illegal action as panic over the coronavirus continues. Second Amendment Foundation is joined by the New Jersey Second Amendment Society on behalf of Robert Kaczynski and Legend Firearms, a gun shop in the state. They are represented by noted civil rights attorney David Jensen at Jensen and Associates in Beacon, New York. He is also representing Second Amendment Foundation and the Connecticut Citizens Defense League in a federal lawsuit against the state of Connecticut's prohibition on so-called high-capacity magazines. All right. In the New Jersey case, Governor Phil Murphy, State Police Superintendent Patrick J. Callahan are defendants in their official capacities. The complaint filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of New Jersey alleges deprivation of rights under 42 U.S.C. 1983. The case is known as Kaczynski versus Murphy. The complaint may be read here. I'm not going to link it. You guys can find it on your own. But the lawsuit contends that Murphy, by issuing Executive Order 107 on March 21st, mandating the closure of all retail businesses that sell firearms or ammunition, and of making the portal for firearms background checks unavailable on the website of the New Jersey State Police, amount to a ban on obtaining firearms or ammunition in the state of New Jersey. Kaczynski, according to the federal complaint, does not own a firearm, but he recently obtained a firearms purchaser identification card for the purpose of buying a gun out of concern for his ability to protect himself and his wife in the event of an emergency. However, Murphy's executive order was quickly followed by a notice posted on the state police background check portal of its website, indicating that the state police would no longer conduct background checks. The lawsuit says. Well, if they're not conducting background checks, that means 3 days and it's their gun, right?
You would think so.
But no.
I just wonder if any shops just went ahead and did the sales anyway. They'll deal with the fallout later.
Again,
I mean, I don't know if they've got the lawyers and they got the money to back it up. It'd be nice if somebody did, but
Yeah. But,
what sucks about that is they couldn't do like any FFL transfer. So even if you bought something and had it shipped from, say, Buds or Classic, and you have it shipped to your FFL, you wouldn't be able to get it, even though it's your property. It's sitting right there.
Yeah. Governor Murphy cannot simply suspend the Second Amendment, and neither can Superintendent Callahan, said SAF founder and executive vice president Alan M. Gottlieb. Yet under this emergency order, that's exactly what they're doing. The Constitution and federal law don't allow that. New Jersey may have been the first state to ratify the Bill of Rights, Gottlieb observed, but they're the last state to recognize it. Now, again, this goes on to tell us what happened during Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans and whatnot. But yeah, it's
well, like here in
it's not good.
Michigan, a lot of the police departments have issued memos saying that they're no longer responding to anything but in progress events.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
including theft, domestic violence. If the bad guy's not, if the guy who just beat his wife is gone, they're not showing up. You got your house
And
robbed. Well, no one's there. They're not showing up. That's terrifying. I get the precaution to save the officers, but if the ability to defend oneself and the ability to have a firearm becomes very important at these times.
Mhm.
yeah, the New Jersey lawsuit could put other states on notice about trying to shut down the exercise of of Second Amendment rights. Most state constitutions also have right to bear arms provisions, like I mentioned earlier, and they're often more protective than the Second Amendment. In some states, that's why you see in some states it's harder for anti-gunners to get traction, whereas in other states it's really easy because the lack of provisions in the state constitution. Because like with New York, New Jersey, and California, they don't have provisions in their state constitution. They didn't see the need, and look what happened. No.
Yeah.
So, but again, be careful. This isn't the only state that's doing this. But we're going to move on. We're going to go to what's going on in Illinois. Apparently, the Illinois governor sets the example for others on gun and ammunition stores. The Second Amendment Foundation today applauded Illinois Governor J.D. Pritzker for including firearm and ammunition suppliers on the list of essential businesses and operations that will remain open during the Prairie State's shelter-in-place emergency due to the COVID-19 coronavirus emergency. When an anti-gun Democrat governor declares that essential businesses include firearm and ammunition suppliers and retailers for the purposes of safety and security, that is a really big deal, said SAF founder and executive vice president Alan M. Gottlieb. Every governor should copy the Illinois example when issuing shelter-in-place and business closure orders in the face of the coronavirus. Three other states are already under sweeping emergency orders as the nation copes with the coronavirus pandemic. They're now New York, Pennsylvania, and California. Depending on how long this emergency continues, many Americans may find themselves facing situations where they will need to be their own first responders. Governor Pritzker obviously understands this, and we encourage the governors of all other states to recognize this isn't an issue of party politics, but personal and community safety. So,
I wonder like in Illinois, I wonder if there's a waiting period for a handgun. Like if they got a 3-day wait or like a 7-day wait, because if you stop the sales and you have that waiting period, that's going to be it's going to really be pushing it for some people.
I'm unhappy because it's a little hard for me to get ammunition right now because I had to order ammunition online because PSA closed. They self-imposed to close. They didn't have to close, but they went ahead and closed and due to the coronavirus. And well, that means Ellis is at home right now, so I can get a hold of him all day long.
See, I was wondering about that though. I thought maybe they put them to work in the warehouse and get them helping shipping and stuff, keep shipping going and things like that because they've got the 10-day wait on shipping right now. So
yeah, apparently Mel the Nut says Illinois no wait, but you need a FOID card.
Okay.
Good.
Did they put a halt on that processing of that paperwork, getting the FOID card?
I don't know. I don't think so. No,
Mel, you said that's Mel the Nut that was chiming in?
It's Mel chiming in.
Yeah, Mel, let us know. Or did they put a halt on FOID card paper processing or not? Because, I mean, if they close down county courthouses and stuff like that, or it's appointment only, you're never going to be able to get in and get your stuff processed. Unless it's done by, say, the State Patrol or some other branch of the law, or from some of the sheriffs.
Saying at Night Strike, years ago, Spokane police said they wouldn't respond. Last year said it was business property owners' responsibility to police crime around business property, that it wasn't cops' jobs. Well, then I would say Deduct that from your taxes.
Yeah, there you go.
Deduct that from your state taxes if they're not going to do their job. Well, no, don't actually do that. I'm saying that. I'm saying that sarcastically because, good Lord, taxes. We're not even going to get into that. All right. Where's Gizzard Gary when you need him? We need that free range chicken here because did you hear? Kansas passes resolution limiting governor's emergency powers to seize ammo and property. Did you hear about that?
They passed a law limiting powers to seize property?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Who passed that? Their legislature passed it or what?
Okay. The NRA ILA just announced that the previously worrisome Kansas bill HCR 5025 has been amended to include language that limits the emergency powers of the Kansas state government. Previously, the bill could have been interpreted to allow authorities to restrict the sale and transportation of firearms, as well as confiscate arms and ammunition during the coronavirus pandemic. Thankfully, this was remedied, and the changes subsequently approved on Thursday of last week. More information can be found below from the NRA ILA, but I'll just read the excerpt here. It says, late Thursday night, the Kansas legislature passed House Committee Resolution 5025. This measure prevents Governor Laura Kelly from using emergency powers to seize ammunition or limit the sale of firearms during the current COVID-19 outbreak. HCR 5025 was overwhelmingly supported in both House and Senate. Thank you to those legislators who voted in favor of this important legislation. The legislature has now officially adjourned and is planning to reconvene on April 27th. The change came in the form of the following clause being added to HCR 5025. But be it further resolved that for the purposes of this ratification, the governor shall not have the power or authority to temporarily or permanently seize or authorize seizure of any ammunition to suspend or limit the sale, dispensing, or transportation of firearms or ammunition pursuant to Kansas State Authority the KSA 2019 Support 48-925C8 or any other executive authority. And this was in the bill, of course. They amended it, so good on them for amending it. But were you guys worried about that, Gary?
You got to worry about that when you have a Democratic governor. Yeah,
you do. That is a very good point. That is an extremely good point. So,
KSA
did the governor have to sign off on that for that to become law or not?
No. Besides, it passed unanimously. It would have been ridiculous to try to veto it. Basically, it was kind of cool how they did it because it was a Democratic measure to start with to extend the governor's time frame in which they could exercise their authority during the emergency because it was limited to so many days. They wanted an extension on it. So my nice friends up in the State House said, okay, we're going to add a few things to that while you're doing this. And, the only option would have been to cut them off, when the original time frame ended. So we got what they wanted. They got what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So
awesome.
Everybody wins,
Awesome. Is there anything? How are things going on in your state right now? What kind of measures is Kansas instituting right now with coronavirus? So you guys, same like everyone else, dine-in is no-go. It's just takeout delivery.
It's county to county, but most of the major metropolitan areas are there now. Of course, our governor was the first one to shut down the schools for the entire school year. Which everybody else followed pretty soon after. But, that kind of stuff. And the majority of the state, I think, is working from home now, including yours truly. I've been doing it for 2 days now. It's interesting. But, we're all going to adjust to it. They may find out they didn't need all those office buildings. After all, we could just sit here and do our work. So. It sure is nice not to have that half-hour drive to and from work every day.
Save on gas money, more money for ammo.
Right. And my gun shop, they had a Facebook post this afternoon with a truck backed up to the front door full of ammo. So.
I'll be there in 3 hours, Gary. I'll bring in my debit card. Let's go shopping. You and I will stay 6 feet apart from each other, but
I never seen such a good
10
news.
feet. It's 10 feet.
They can only have 7 people in the gun shop at a time, though. I don't know.
Doorbuster. First 7 get ammo.
Right.
All right.
I'll get mine.
Were they just 9mm, or what? Do they show all calibers, or what?
Yeah, a little bit of everything, but they had quite a bit of 9mm in there, which that was good news to me.
See, here's what I think is the good thing about the social distancing. People that are smart that actually stay at home. If more people do that, I think it gives time for stuff in general to get stocked back up at the stores. Not that the weekends are not going to just get depleted again, but like if you wouldn't go, if a lot of people just wouldn't go, and it was more staggered on when people actually went to the store to buy groceries, I think you'd see more stuff on the shelves. Instead of having just everybody going daily to buy everything they possibly can because people are panicking, more people would stay at home. I really think it's going to help all aspects of our purchasing ability. You're going to start to see stuff get back in stock that wasn't before, with the exception of some products, but still.
Now, I don't know what's going on with California because I'm not keeping up too much, and I'm not trying to bash California, but I know they did extend the 10-day waiting period to 30 days now for firearms purchases.
God.
So
all firearms purchases all the way across the board.
Firearms purchases, even transfers.
Oh my God. Oh.
Well, it's not like we didn't see this coming from that state, and I'm not going to make any apologies or say any nice things about the state of California because there's nothing nice to be said about that. There's just nothing. But
is that because of a backlog? What's their excuse? They can't keep up with the paperwork and the processing, or what? From all these people that now want to buy guns that hated them before.
Yeah, apparently.
Because a lot of us, I just think those of us that have guns, those of us that are slightly prepper, I'd say the vast majority of us, maybe we're going to buy something because we want something, but I don't think any of us really saw a pressing need to go get it because it's going to disappear. I think we know that it's going to be back in stock. I think we're just, if you want something, you're competing with all these first-time gun buyers now.
Okay, we got a question out there from D1062 for you, Travis. Did you bleach your hair blonde?
No, it's just short. It's growing in right now. I shave my head every 2 weeks, but it's growing. No, I've actually got dark brown hair. It's very, very short, so you're seeing my scalp underneath. So that's probably why. So no, and I'm going gray on the sides now too. So no, I'm not blonde. I did that 1 year for homecoming at the high school where I teach. I did. We got to dress up as somebody famous, and I did dress up as Eminem. So I did, bleach my hair, and I did, wear like a oversized white T-shirt and saggy jeans, and I went as a hip hop star. Gave myself a bunch of tattoos, but I'm
okay. Got a comment says asking at Night Strike, are you confusing one gun a month with a 10-day wait? I don't know. I heard it went from 10 days to 30 days. I don't know the details. It's California. They never give you all the details.
Well, might as well be a 30-day wait if they're going to do that to you.
Yeah. But
oh again, man, I couldn't imagine.
We got a comment from DM Faust saying the warehouse my store orders from is limiting my grocery order to 235 pieces. Normal order is 700. Well, just make multiple orders, I guess.
Yeah, they're gonna have to stagger stuff out in order for stuff to get back on the shelves right now. Yeah, you had when I was at Walmart the other day, there were people just buying cartfuls of stuff. People are still buying that, but it's going to start to thin out a little bit over time. People realize that they got more food than they needed. And
I'm going to throw out there, when you see people right now with cartfuls, remember that people are going out and shopping for multiple old people. So it's not necessarily all hoarders as much as going to shopping for more than one people, maybe.
Right.
And their kids, they got children at home. If people got 4 or 5 kids, and they're staying at home now because school's out. So
really a big family looks like a prepper. Regular family, right? Every week, though. So they go to these big box stores because that's how they are able to buy their food ever, right?
Yeah. But still, people buying these mass quantities. What I said earlier is, if because people are practicing the social distancing, I think you're going to slowly start to see stuff get back on the shelves. If people don't feel the need to go out, that eventually things will get back on the shelves as time goes on, unless we keep doing this hoarder mentality. But
well, there's got to be like a level of comfort, like how many macaronis or how many cans of beans you want in the cupboard, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Nothing, and they saw bare shelves. Now that they've got like 2 or 3 cans, they're back to normal, right? Like that it takes a while for that shift to happen.
Buying a couple things here and there, and I think a lot of people just aren't going out unless they have to because they don't want to catch it.
Well, that's the other thing is people are not. I haven't been out in the stores in a while, but I got to assume because everybody's at home, that's giving them time to reshelf, right? Mm-hmm. It's giving them time to redistribute.
The Walmarts here, just like everywhere else, they've added a third shift and they overstock. When they close it, I don't know, was it 11 or is it?
No, 8 now. Well, but here it's 8 o'clock.
Okay, let's just say between 8 and 11, they close overnight till 6 a.m. They hired a third shift at the store that's up the street from me because they were taking applications, and they're stocking. When I was in there just the other day, they had like 15 stockers on the floor. They were pushing stuff out as quick as they could get it. So I mean, they're doing the product's going out. It's not like they don't have stuff there. So I mean, the fact they've added a third shift and more employees, I think that's a sign that they're trying to keep things as good as they can. I drove by Costco this morning after I got gas, and there was a lot of people walking out with full shopping carts. I saw TP and water and paper towels, so they're getting that stuff back in too. So,
how like when there's like a hurricane or something, like you'll see like Coca-Cola's rebottling water into Coke bottles or something, and then they ship them out. Like people like retool and then help. Like I've noticed that Harbor Freight gave all of their gloves, like all their nitrile gloves, period, and all their masks to hospitals. Like they just said, since we're not open, you have it, right? And there's things like that going on. Have you guys seen any kind of like tally of the things like that? Because that's something that I think could be positive to focus on, right? Like, I've noticed that a couple of different things. I'm trying to recall them now, but I'm not doing it. But a couple of different gestures like that, where in just the stores that are open in the morning for old people and stuff like that. Like there's those kind of things that are happening, and we've never needed that stuff before. But I think now that stuff's happening, we're going to start to see more of that focused on too, right? Some of the good stuff that got as a result of all this.
One of the things that happened here in Nebraska is we've got a major ethanol producer, because we produce a ton of ethanol in this state for gasoline additives, and they donated, I don't know how many, just hundreds of thousands of gallons to the state of Nebraska, and the prisons. Just we took a cue from New York or Texas, where we're going to start making hand sanitizer for hospitals, and the prisons are going to start making it from the industrial ethanol that they're shipping their way. So that's something that they just donated hundreds of, because it's not going out because nobody's buying gas. So they're sitting on this ethanol. They can write it off as a tax deduction and donate it to the state. State can make it into hand sanitizer, which I have not seen a bottle of sanitizer. I got to be honest, I didn't have one before all this crap happened. I really didn't, because I washed my hands with soap. Not big on this. And I got it in my classroom anyway.
They're everywhere. Exactly. You don't really need to have one unless you
I don't even know where to find it in the store.
Kind of like everywhere.
It's like, where was this stuff before? I don't even know what section it was in Walmart. I'm like, where the hell was the hand sanitizer?
Here's the funny part. A few months ago, I got like 6 or 7 of the big family size ones that you get from Walmart.
Where are they? Where do they stock them? Like in the pharmacy? What? Yeah. I don't know where it's at, so I don't even know where to find it now. So I want one now, but I don't know.
Well, back before, right? If you were going to get a cart, or if you got, you walked out of a store, there's always like just a little station there, so you never really had to carry it, because it was always, when you needed it, there was always to be something there there was always a station or something. Especially in a school, right? You probably have it in the bathrooms and stuff.
Oh yeah, we got it in our classrooms. We have half-gallon jugs of it. But I mean, I'd like to have one in my vehicle, so when I go use a gas pump, I've got it right there. When I go accept food at the drive-thru, it's right there. So it's honestly, I just don't have any. Yeah.
They'll probably come up with something like maybe I'm just throwing shit out there, but like a rag that you spray with bleach. They'll come up with maybe like some kind of a reusable wipe or something that works just as good or something, because it's never needed it before. No one's ever, except for if you were carrying around hand sanitizer, people looked at you funny before, right? Now it's normal.
Yeah. Now you'd hardly ever see anybody using it. I mean, I would bust it out when kids would start getting sick in my classroom. When you had a lot of the flu going around, or you had colds going around, I'd say take a pump on the way in. Just good to go.
Well, since you've got a lot of gas laying around, can you just wash your hands with gasoline? That's pretty much the same thing.
I would think you could use isopropyl alcohol. If you want a quick, you need something.
Yeah, and here's the thing: if you have a bottle of aloe and a bottle of rubbing alcohol, you can mix the two together to make hand sanitizer.
Oh.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to use Everclear, okay?
Oh, that'd be a waste. You wouldn't want to do that. You can never use it.
No.
So what's the ratio of that then? Is it 50-50 or is it like, do you have any clue?
I don't know the ratio. You can look
because I need to make some up. I think I need to make a video on this because I have no hand sanitizer in the house. I got soap. We've got antibacterial soap, and I've got plenty of hand soap and stuff, but because I'm always working on vehicles and stuff. But yeah. So I'll try to get a bottle of Purell at some point. Maybe I'll figure out where they actually stock it and go from there. I mean, I was going to maybe try Dollar Tree too, because I got a feeling they'll start getting stuff back in. That's one of the places that's a little bit off the beaten path where I'm living. So
you want to use isopropyl or rubbing alcohol. 99% of alcohol volume.
So I can make like pumpkin spice scented hand sanitizer or like lavender scented hand sanitizer.
And you need aloe vera gel.
Okay, I don't know if I have aloe vera gel. I'll have to check and see. I don't know.
You can, or you can just use lemon juice instead. But they do recommend to use an oil like tea tree oil or lavender oil. You can just use lemon juice; that'll work too. But
it's so acidic; it's going to thin out it's going to probably crack your skin, especially if you're in a place right now that doesn't have a lot of humidity. That's going to suck the moisture right out of your hands.
Well, I'm in a very high humid environment anyway, so.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you just put raw lemon juice on your hands, it's gonna, it's gonna burn for one thing.
No, you're not putting raw because you have aloe vera and rubbing alcohol with it.
I'm looking like Schmiegel over here in Michigan. Okay, I've been using that stuff and it dries the crap out of your hands.
Like, I don't have this flu, but I got this horrible chemical burn all over me.
Yeah,
I'm sure you do. Now I'm looking at it, and it says the recipe is 3/4 cup of isopropyl or rubbing alcohol, 99%. 1/4 cup of aloe vera gel to keep your hands smooth and counteract the harshness of alcohol, and about 10 drops of essential oil, such as lavender oil or tea tree oil. Or
I got that. Eucalyptus
10 drops of lemon juice instead, and it'll do the same thing. And you mix that all together, and that will make hand sanitizer.
Put a little sprig of vanilla bean in there for some aromatics. You're ready to rock. What the hell am I talking about? I have no clue. I am so domesticated; it's not even funny.
But again, if you're gonna if you're gonna make this yourself, make sure you're doing this in a well ventilated area because we don't want to We don't want you to inhale any fumes, and we want you to be safe. So. Do it in a well-ventilated area and be safe about it, all right?
You might want to research this at home before you start mixing chemicals together. Make sure you do it in the right environment with the right conditions. We don't want anybody passing out and suing us at Hit or Miss Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock.
Right, and the recipe, I just looked it up, and if you need the recipe, there it is. I'll just link it out there on the YouTube side. Travis, I'll link it in here. But that's the one I go off of. So, all right.
Cool.
So just check that out. All right. Do we have anything else? I know John's going live pretty soon.
Yeah.
He sent links out, so we better start wrapping up. I got more stuff to talk about, so we may talk about more stuff on Friday night, or I may just do a one-shot night strike, just telling people what's going on. So, I want to thank my panel for showing up tonight. I want to thank everyone out there on the YouTube side for being part of the conversation and hanging out with us. Again, if you guys got any comments, suggestions, or if you have any articles you'd like us to cover on the show, you can always send me an email at nightstrike1@gmail.com. That's NIGHTSTRYKE, the number 1 at gmail.com. And I will totally read that. And if it's a good article, I will go over it. So again, thanks for pitching in, guys. All right, panel, thank you for showing up. Travis, go ahead and give us your outro.
Real quick, check out my channel. Don't forget, I'm giving away a Ruger Wrangler, so go find the video on my channel, Travis P11. Leave a comment. You'll be in the drawing. We'll do the drawing in a week or two, I promise. And that's a little something I'm doing in conjunction with SS Pond in Lexington, Nebraska. Thank you for the invite, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
Cool.
All right, Duke.
Ain't nothing but positive waves, baby. We're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. Thanks for the invite. Have a great night, buddy.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. With you guys around, I'm not worried. G.
Well said, Duke. Thanks for the invite.
All right, guys. That's it. That's all we got for this evening. So everybody, stay safe out there. Don't panic. Stay.
Oh wait, no, hold on. I just got done using the tube for, I don't remember how many people you in there, 4 and 2, maybe 10 or 12 people. So we're pretty good. Thanks for the service. Thanks for the platform.
Yep. No problem. So guys, remain calm. Stay safe out there, and remember, we'll catch you on the next one. So thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss. Shall not be infringed.